Hello everyone, I am Nanda and welcome to All Curiosity. Today, I am going to talk about Roman numbers of class 5th maths. Have you ever wondered why we write our standards using these symbols? Well, today I am going to explain this in detail. Look at this clock. There is no numbers in this clock. And there are some symbols. What does these symbols mean and why they are used? These are Roman numbers and they are used in ancient Rome. In Europe, in the olden times, Roman capital letters were used to write numbers as Roman numerals. The letters were I, B and X. I stands for 1, B stands for 5 and X stands for 10. Remember, there is no symbol for 0. Using these symbols, we have to learn some rules, and these rules have 4. Rule number 1. If either of the symbols I or X is written consequently 2 or 3 times, the sum total is the number they make. Which means if I had 2I, that it means 1 plus 1, which is 2. Okay, if I add 2x consequently, that means 10 plus 10, as it indicates 10, which is equals to 20. Similarly, if I add 1 3 times, which is 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 3. Okay? And what does rule number 2 says? The rule number 2 is the symbols I or X can be repeated consequently for a maximum of 3 times. We can repeat I or X for a maximum of 3 times, just as explained in the previous examples, like 1, this X is repeated twice, which is 20, and similarly this I is repeated thrice, which is 3. Okay, and always remember B is never repeated consequently. Okay, and rule number 3 is when either I or B is written on the right of the symbol of a bigger number, its value is added to the value of the bigger number, which means if I add B or I on the right of the symbol, it adds up to it. Okay? Like I have added I next to B, which means 5 plus 1, because B stands for 5 and I stands for 1. So if I add I next to B, it adds up to the value and becomes 6. Okay? And the fourth rule is when I is written on the left of the B or X, then its value is subtracted from the value of B or X. Okay, so here I can give example of adding I left of the B. Okay, so if I add I left of the B, remember always left side you have to subtract. Okay, so if I add I left of the B, then it gets subtracted and becomes 4. Okay, and also remember I is not written more than once. In rule number 3, you can add I for 3 times, but in rule number 4, you can't add I more than once. Okay, but the number 8 is not written as IIX. Why? Because I is not written more than once in the left side. Okay. Now let's see how to write the numbers 14 and 19. If we consider 14 as 10 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, it will look like this: X, I, which is absolutely wrong. We have to use symbol X for 10 and symbol IV for 4. Okay, so if you use these symbols, we'll get 14 as XIV. Similarly for 19, think the number as 10 plus 9 rather than thinking it as 10 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 we use it like that, then we will write 19 as XIX. Okay. Let's take a small recap. Remember, Roman numerals were used in ancient Rome and the letters were used as I, B and X. These capital letters stands for 1, 5 and 10 respectively. The symbol I is not written more than once before I, B or X, and it can be written maximum 3 times after B. Okay. However, do not use the symbol I consequently more than 3 times, and this can be done after V or X. Okay. I hope you all understood the concepts well. Thank you.